It's a non-formal global learning programme targeting over 30,000 students in 13 university locations across 4 European countries. So we're doing it in Ireland, Austria, Cyprus and Malta. It's a 3-year programme and there are different types of activities within it, a range of activities including awareness raising activities, part-time courses, action learning programs and capacity building and development activities. So for instance, one of our results is around building the capacity of on-campus stakeholders to advocate for global learning at 3rd level. So our initial indicator was around projects that they were going to do on campus. So it was quite an output indicator. But we thought it would be good to have an indicator in that looked specifically at what more global learning on campus would look like, or what their efforts might result in. So we now have an indicator around which tracks the levels of support for global learning at 3rd level, which is not directly linked to the result, but it's the next step, and it's maybe more telling as to what we're trying to achieve. One of our outcomes is around students, for our courses, is around students' capacity to critically engage with global issues. So it's a skill. How do you measure a skill? So we were trying to look at indicators of skills. What would that look like? So for instance, if they demonstrate the ability to reflect on their position in a globalized world, that's a very particular thing that would suggest they're critically engaging with and analysing global issues. So we have, let's say, 3 to 4 indicators for that outcome in a rubric, and then a facilitator with the aid of a coordinator would say, okay, based on my implementation of this session, X participants demonstrated this, or partially demonstrated this activity, fully demonstrated this activity, or this ability didn't demonstrate this ability, and so on and so forth for the different indicators. Like, it's not a perfect exercise, not a perfect tool, and we would be the first to say that, but it's an attempt to, I suppose, capture what the change is there. And we do that at the beginning and at the end to see what the shift is. In the Irish context in particular, we try to, we look at whether people are motivated to take action, and then we follow up 6 months later to see if they have taken action. So to sort of get a sense if that attitude, that's a clear indicator of whether they were motivated or not. The 6-month piece is for us the impact. So we're trying to see whether the outcomes translate into impact. The people who have engaged at a deeper level have acted or taken a greater number of actions than those who have engaged at a more superficial level. So the people who've been involved in our awareness raising activities, 75% said they were motivated to take action, 73% had taken action when we followed 6 months later. And we had like a list of like 12 or 13 actions that they might take. For instance, make a lifestyle change, do further study, work in development, volunteer in development. This is a challenge for us. Would they have done those actions anyway? Like, we asked them, as a result of the course or as a result of the activity, have you taken any of the following? So the results would suggest, yes, it can be attributed to us, but would they have done it anyway? I think it's a useful question to ask. Maybe some of them would have, maybe some of them wouldn't have. We asked that internally, and we'll ask that in our evaluation report. The question is, how do we answer it? How do we, I think that area of attribution of results versus contribution versus whatever, it's very tricky.